The key recommendations that I would extract out of this, the top 3 things are: build a structured sponsorship program. Clearly, sponsorship is a relationship that happens between 2 people. It can happen informally. I look back at my career and I'm absolutely delighted to now be able to see that there were people who definitely gave me a nudge along the way, had a chat, helped me to sort of see potential that I didn't otherwise see. But we can't leave sponsorship to chance and good luck, because there'll be too many people who then lack the opportunity to have a sponsor in their career. If we build structured opportunities for a sponsorship relationship to take place, you're actually given the keys to be able to target that to the people in your organisation that need it the most. And perhaps as we're sort of going through this material, that could be one thing that you start thinking about now. If you were to build a sponsorship program in your organisation, where would you start? Who would you begin to consider as candidates for that pool? And I think what we're hearing from that data that we just talked about is it's not only starting with thinking about potentially the women on the program and who would benefit from that opportunity. I would start with the senior leaders. Who are going to be the sponsors who need to hear these stories? Who are the sponsors, the senior leaders, the change makers, the influencers who need to learn what is lived experience of people who are different to them in the organisation? So definitely start thinking about your sponsors rather than starting with your sponsorship pool. The importance of that structured program, I think, then is that you give people the tools and the framework for how to do it, not just leave them up to their own devices to have a cup of coffee and have a chat. It actually provides both parties with the skills and experience to build that relationship of advocacy, to have the right conversations, and how to provide career support that is meaningful and also authentic. I think it's really important that people aren't looking for a false start or for a undeserved leg up here. And I think this is probably a different topic for another day, but taps into the whole debate that we're seeing globally at the moment about the merits of D&I. No one's saying give people an unfair advantage, but definitely level the playing field by creating opportunities for that conversation. The second piece I would take away from here as a key recommendation is that it's about fostering a culture of advocacy and visibility. These aren't just things that we do once a year or twice a year because we've been told to do that as part of the performance management framework. We actually have to have a culture and a mindset of advocacy and of really elevating everyone's potential to the table. Personally, one of the things that I really believe in is that everyone in the organisation has potential, but can both people see it? Can the person see it themselves, and can other people around them see it as well? And that needs to be able to come out in meaningful conversations. Once your senior leaders have the words for that, have the knowledge for that, then they have the tools at their fingertips. They have the words, they have the knowledge to be able to genuinely and actively encourage women to step up to leadership roles that they might not even be considering themselves. And this is what will then generate opportunities for women to create pathways. During that sponsorship relationship, one of the things that we really like to encourage people to do is take time to shadow one another, and going to events together, shadowing each other, having the opportunity to explore what a day in the life of each other's shoes looks like is a unique way of giving people that visibility, of taking people into a meeting that they might not otherwise be in, of taking them to an event or an industry conference where they wouldn't normally be at the table. And when you give someone a seat at the table and introduce them and connect them, that increases a person's profile exponentially, and it helps to then demystify what those doors could look like that need to be open, and it creates opportunities to say, hey, I hear that you're leading this great project. I'd love to be a part of it. It creates gateways for those conversations where they don't necessarily otherwise exist. And that needs to be a mindset and behaviour that lives and breathes in the organisation, not just an interim thing that happens every now and again. The third point will be about creating that transparency of promotion processes and pathways. We've got to be talking about this. This can't be mysteries, tap someone on the shoulder stuff. There has to be, criteria for what are the skills and experiences. We need to talk about, you know, what it takes to get ready for those roles, and help people to feel confident that they do have the tools to step up, because so much of this is about having that two-way confidence that a person has the ability to do so. I happened to attend the Hatchery Conference, the Women in Leadership Summit last week. I hope some of you guys also made it there. And every single speaker that was there on the 2 days that it ran for spoke about the importance of having a mentor and sponsor. And they all talked about sponsorship as being important. You know, Jacinda Ardern, some of Julie Bishop, the CFO of Bupa, people like that, they all talked about how important it was. And they all talked about the fact that it was that ability to have a conversation with someone to say, you're ready, you should give it a go, and I will support you, and I will help you to get through this transition phase. So it's that two-way sort of encouragement. And I loved also that people spoke about the fact that sometimes they had to have that internal business courage to say, let's give this person a chance. They might not be 100% ready, but with coaching and guidance and support, they will absolutely nail the job, and they usually do.